Today you're learning about observations, predictions, and inference. And what are you learning about that? Because when you look at the definition for science, is the systematic study of the natural and physical world, your environment, and you study that world or that environment around you by observing. And we're going to start with that. Okay? Observation. See, the objective of the class. You have here the objective of the class. If they are not just for decoration. At the end of the class, if you don't master the objective, that means that you have to go over the video and the lesson. Because today's objective is that you know how to compare and contrast quantitative versus qualitative observation. That you compare and contrast observations, inference and predictions, and that you are able to identify them. Giving an example. Remember that I'm recording all of this. I'm going to be posting this lesson on Google Classroom, and I'm going to post this on the school website. And here we are. Observations. What are observations? Okay, let me see. Kevin, I'm going to mute. Kevin Fernandez, I'm going to mute you. What are observations?
It's like when you take a look at something and like you observe it.
Okay, if you're touching, let's say, a glass of water and you feel that it's cold, is that an observation? Touching a glass of water, realizing that it's cold, is that an observation, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you using your eyes?
I mean, you're using your senses.
You're using your senses. That's the first things that I want to clarify. You are analyzing. Remember that science is the systematic study of your environment. So every time that you're using your sense, you are able to record an observation. Now we have two types of observation. We have over here qualitative. See, it has to do with words and pictures. The glass was cold. See, you are not giving me the temperature. When you're using words and you're using pictures, you're using qualitative observation to describe what you are observing. Questions about that? No? See, if you have an example over here, that says the tree is very tall. It's very tall. But are you giving me the height of the tree? No, you're just saying that. Usually you're going to use pictures or words just to describe your qualitative observation. Okay? Quantitative, quanti from cuantos in Spanish. You have numbers. Okay? The temperature of the water in that glass was, I don't know, 63 Fahrenheit. You're using numbers. So when you are sharing quantitative observation, you're using numbers. Numbers that when you are performing your experiment, you are going to organize in tables. Tables and graph. Are they the same? The answer is no. In tables, you're going to organize your data, and then you're going to use that data to represent. You're going to use that table to represent your graph, just to represent your graph, in order to draw conclusions, because when you look at tables, you're not going to be able to see the patterns that you have in there. However, when you look at graph, you're going to be able to see the behavior or the outcome of your experiment. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, no? See the difference between qualitative versus quantitative? The tree was very tall, but in this case, I'm giving you the height of the tree. I'm using numbers. Questions about that? No? Can I continue? Okay, a la one. Quesada, questions? No? Emily Quevedo? Questions? No? Super clear. Right, Emily? Super clear. Adrian? No. You're not sending a message to your friends? No. You're paying attention to this. Okay? Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, questions about this? Nicholas. You have questions about this? Quantitative versus qualitative. Super easy. In one, I'm using words or pictures. On the other ones, I'm using numbers. Ada Fernandez, questions? No? No? Prediction. Keep that in mind, that the prediction is a forecast for the future, while the inference is explanation to your observation. It could be quantitative, qualitative, okay? You're trying to explain that observation right now based on your previous knowledge, okay? Now, your prediction is just guessing what's gonna happen in the future if that condition persists, based also in what you know. Questions about that? No? You don't have any questions about that. And here you have an example. Example in both cases. Now we're gonna work together. A ver. So you have to talk. So Bianca. A ver, Bianca, let me ask to unmute you. Bianca, unmute yourself.
Yes.
Okay, Bianca. I want you to give me a qualitative observation. Whatever you're observing.
Hand sanitizer.
Okay, but so what happened with the hand sanitizer? It's empty. It's full. What happened with your bottle, Bianca?
Bianca's gone. She's not
See, this is what I'm talking about. Now you're avoiding me.
I don't know if like something happens where
Arlene Quesada. Where is Arlene Quesada? Let's gonna look for Arlene Quesada. Arlene, what happened, Arlene? Unmute yourself, because you were raising your hand.
the bottom of hand sanitizer
Is
small.
is small. Okay. That's an observation. That's a qualitative observation because you're not using numbered. If I say the bottle of hand sanitizer is, let me see, 30 centimeters, is 30 centimeters tall. What type of observation do I have in there? Please, if you can unmute yourself, help me here. If you're using now numbers, what type of observation do you have? You have quantitative observations. Based on that, I'm gonna continue. I want to make an inference. I want to explain right now why my bottle is only 30 centimeters tall. Yeah, I'm gonna make an inference. Inference. The company that made the bottle wanted to save material. Do I have to be right? No. That's why later we're gonna design an experiment, because you can make an inference. In that case, I'm looking at the bottle of hand sanitizer. The bottle of hand sanitizer is small. I'm gonna look for a ruler because I want quantitative observation, and I'm gonna measure that. So I realize that my bottle is only 30 centimeters tall. Ooh, it's so small. Why? Or it's medium? Why? I'm gonna make an inference. Maybe the company that was building the bottle want to save material. That's an inference. I'm trying to explain. Right now, what I'm observing. Prediction. Prediction. Okay, any prediction. I don't know. If the company continues, okay, continue building small bottles, what's gonna happen? Then they will lose their customer. But do I have to be right? No. That's why later we are gonna design an experiment. Look at this. How can I say that? Look at the template. No. Look at the way that I was writing. Look at, see, the way that I was writing my prediction. Does that sound familiar? No? It doesn't sound familiar? Okay, you don't look very excited. So I'm gonna continue. So keep in mind, just today we're gonna cover qualitative, quantitative, observations, inference, and prediction. These two, you are observing your environment. You use number, quantitative. You use words or you use pictures, qualitative. Based on what you have observed and in your previous knowledge, you can make an inference of the situation. An inference is an explanation that you're making of what's happening right now. And based on what you know also, you're going to make a prediction of what's going to happen in the future. This is the present. See, the inference is explanation right now in the present, prediction, a forecast that you're going to make for the future. Questions about that? Okay, you don't have any questions. Good to know. Assignment.